Good morning, Kwan. How are you?
Morning, David. Good. It's been great this Friday.
Yes, indeed. It looks like a beautiful place that you're in.
Yeah, thank you. I live in a house complex and surrounded by greens. It's the best thing of being, in this crisis because I get to stay home more. I spend a lot on my house and I didn't get to stay.
Yeah, that's good. You get value for money finally.
Exactly.
Okay, so thank you for joining me on this edition of Bangkok Thought Leaders Quarantine Edition. So I think that anyone who knows me is definitely going to know you too. But let me just give you a quick introduction for anyone who doesn't. So Kwan is the Director of Business Development for the Seoul Bangkok. She is everywhere in the city under normal times at networking events, speaking, counseling, coaching, guiding, and she's a true lover of the power of storytelling. So thank you for joining us today, Kwan.
Pleasure.
Okay, so how have you been during this Corona time? How's life been?
Actually, I will have to say I have received this question before, will you, if I could go back in times, would I change anything? And I wouldn't. I think COVID came for a reason. So for me, it actually teaches me a lot. And I think the most important thing is how do I utilize the time? Because before, I have to wake up, let's say at 6 a.m. and then have to leave the house. Never know what's happening in my house. I never touch the kitchen that I built and spent a lot, So it's been ongoing like this over 10 years. And because of Corona, I get to use my kitchen. I get to know my house more. It doesn't mean that I have any less of work, but it's just that it eliminates the unnecessary time. Like, for example, traveling times and the times that you engage with non-necessary stuff. So that is actually bring back a really valuable times for me to spend on something that is more necessary in life.
Yeah, I've had the same experience. Like before Corona, I was never at my house. It was wake up, have coffee, go to the office, be at the office till late, maybe meet a client, go to a meeting, go to an event, and at the weekend go to the beach. So I was never at my house. So I had to buy all new furniture when we had Corona because I didn't even have a table to work at because at home was just asleep. So I'm the same as you.
Yep.
So I think the whole world has been affected by Corona. As you said, there's been some benefits that we have to reflect upon our life and how we use our time and how productive we are. But for many industries, they've been hard hit by Corona. As somebody who is within the hospitality industry, how have you felt that effect on your industry?
Huge. Because I think, any crisis that have been happening, years ago, all this crisis doesn't stop people from traveling from one place to another. So if something's happened in one place, it doesn't affect the rest. So let's say we had a big flood in Thailand. It doesn't stop anything else, and it doesn't stop economic. It doesn't stop any trading. It doesn't stop any sale. It doesn't stop any investment. But with Corona, I think at the beginning, it's starting off from Asia. So I can see behavior from people in Europe and US. They still think it's far from them. They spend their life and then they did everything as normal until this crisis come to them and then start impacting them. But then what I have seen differently is the whole world is being impacted by one same cause, and we fell for the same thing. We fell for the others. So I think that's actually, in a way, this globalization merged everyone into one piece because we fell for something. There's no limitations in terms of times or border anymore. We've been affected by one same virus, which is spread out the whole world. And I think what is changes the world is it's whenever there's problems, people need to think out of the problems. It's not even the box. We have to think of these issues. How do we solve? And at the end, what I see, a lot of people, I think at the very beginning, when we were in February, a lot of people predict it's going to end in June. And we're in June now. It's not going to end anywhere, right? So I think in a way, it teaches us that accept it. You cannot fight. What are we going to do with it? It's live with it. But we have to adjust and we have to change the mindset. It is not that as scary as we were thinking of. I think at the beginning, people even stop breathing, right? Like when we walk passing any other people, and we're so scared that that person could be infected. So we stop breathing because we don't want to intake any virus into ourselves, our body. So I think now people start getting used to. They start to learn that actually it's all about being safe and taking care of yourself, because nobody can protect you. You know, it doesn't mean social distancing will stop anything. It doesn't stop, because at the end it's how you behave and how you really monitor and protect the world environment. Like if we really take care of each other's, then it will be fine. Like wearing the mask, I know that's a huge issue in would say the Western world, where maybe wearing a mask is a symbol like of someone's being sick. So a lot of people didn't want to wear it. I know that they have the right to do that. But not wearing a mask is not about you. It's about the others. Sure. Wearing a mask is because we don't know it. We don't know who. So it's about protecting each other. Is it the times that we can all work together to protect each other, because we don't know who?
Your approach seems to be very founded in Buddhism. Would that be fair?
Not so Buddhism. I think any religion for me is very respectful. And I believe that all religions is good. But what I believe is, I think we do good, and then everything else will be good for us. I believe in goodness. We have to practice good, do good, talk good.
Okay.
Good return.
Kind of karma, right?
Yeah, can say that.
So, I am somebody who utilizes the hospitality industry a lot. I think we've been away together for business a few times too. I have felt the pain of not having access to hotels a lot over the last few months. Not as much as you, I'm sure, but how do you see the hospitality industry evolving out of this crisis? Obviously, in Thailand, as of today, we still don't have international flights. Later in the year, we will. What does the new normal look like in the hospitality industry?
Okay, this term again, this word new normal, in which I also bring up that there's a word of pre-normal and the new normal. What I'm saying with the new normal is things that would change forever. Things that would change and it's become normal. Where there are things that used to be, and they might change for a bit of time, and they will come back again to the stage before the pre-normal itself. So what I see hospitality, yes, it is being affected. And this is not because the hotel cannot operate. It's totally because people start being more conscious about their travel, about being close to the others, about whether they're gonna have freedom after their travel. Because it's not about the travel itself, it's about the consequences that would happen after the trip. So people start planning and thinking more around their trips, where they have to go. Is it a safe place? Would there be a quarantine, like 14 days that will happen after? I think that's kind of hold back the decision. But these would not be so long. Like we all know that once vaccine is coming out, this mindset will go away. And that's what I call it, the new norm, the pre-normal, because it will come back to where it were. But what would be the new normal for me that would happen in hospitality is people concerned more about safety. What I see, the trend of hotels will be strong more than ever. Because if we're looking into the inventory that's being created like Airbnb and stuff like that, those are the alternative of accommodation, which we don't know how clean it is. And I think because of these situations, many of this not legalized hotel license accommodation place will slowly going back to their normal business, like going back to a monthly rental rather than beating the hotel rooms on a daily. So I think people concerned more on healthy standard. They would want to know the protocol of how is the hotel on that particular accommodations practicing. Would it be safe for them to travel to? And this is regardless whether it's before or after we found the vaccine. They still want to know. But once they get to the place, I don't think that is matter anymore. People will just spend their life as normal because they already make a decisions to come. So it's different in decision-making stage. People willing to spend on a higher hotel category, not necessarily means spending more money. Meaning the type of a standard of the hotel, like I can say stars, for example, because that's mean a guarantee of the safety and healthy standard would be there. That's what I foresee. And I foresee that people would, for the new normal times, people would like to move around in a shorter distance, especially where they can take control of everything. What does it mean? If they get on a plane, they cannot control cars, or like you could rent a van. That would be more sort of popular ways of moving around because you can take control of the whole journey. Yeah.
Okay, I think the experience I've had. So obviously, for my industry, we were affected at the same time as yours was, but we've been able to return quicker because we're domestic based. So I was panicking in April when we finally went remote. So we were remote for about 10 weeks, the whole team. And during that time, there was a lot of talk about, will offices exist next year? Is everyone going to be remote? Is anything going to be the same again? This week, we came back to the office on Monday, and it's been joyful. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like everybody is happy to be back together, back to have the working environment together, back to share ideas together, have lunch together, go for coffee together. I think we as humans love to be around other humans, and we love to travel and socialize. So I think a lot of the talk around Corona is just fear. Like everything's going to change. People are not going to leave their homes anymore. I agree with you. I think the new normal is similar to the old normal with a few changes. And the bit that you can never change is humans like to have fun and do fun things and be together. And visiting Thailand and going to a 4 or 5 star hotel is something that's always going to be in demand for sure. In society more widely, beyond hospitality, beyond digital, do you think we will see any significant changes in the business world or in society as a result of this? Like, for example, do you think we're going to be wearing masks forever now? Or is there something else that you think we might see in the world because of this?
I think, and this is completely going to be the new normal, okay? Mask will be one of the new accessory. It's no longer going to be something weird if people are going to wear. And to be honest with you, if you're looking into the times since last year, we start wearing masks. I was the person who never wear it because I felt like it's weird.
Me too.
I think it's weird, but there are people who maybe they feel it toxic, like to breathe in, because when you look into the what you call the ratio of the air quality, and you feel I don't want to breathe this pollution into my lung, so I better protect it or filter it in a way. So there's a lot of mask series that's been producing, but not so fashionable, which means those are something that will be looked as medical device or medical tools. But the nouns that people start using it every day, we start getting used to it. Like from maybe you have 1 or 2 masks, you might have already 7, and then you change it every day based on the color of the week, things like this.
Okay.
I went
Okay.
to a shopping mall yesterday. Okay. What I have noticed, and this is very interesting in fashion industry. So now there's a lot of dress or clothing they made it matching with the mask.
Okay. So the
So
mask comes with the dress.
correct. So what I see as a new normal, masks, especially in Asia, will not be seen as something, to use for sick people or to use for situations where we feel that something is happening. But it's really just an accessory where you feel, I'm cold, I'm gonna put scarf on. And now when you're not feeling okay, or maybe because you might sneeze or you want to protect yourself from, could be the air or someone's going to sit next to you could sneeze. So you wear it and it's gonna be something super normal in the future. And this is going to be something that would change the mindsets from people around the globe to accept people that they see that, oh, that is okay if someone wearing mask next to them and to travel because of these situations.
Yeah, I guess also on the BTS or the MRT, there's going to be sick people on there for sure. At least one on the train, and probably some smelly people too. So
Yeah.
it's good to have the mask on to keep that safe. Okay, I like that.
Correct.
So the fashion industry and the
They already
health
react.
industry.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah. And it's nothing best as if you're looking into, this is such a brand opportunity. It's a marketing tools because when you can, when you design a shirt and you want to put a logo on your shirt and people said, you know what, I'm not going to pay for that. There are some certain brand people want to wear because that's a value attached to the brand. And there are brand that could be something and then you wear and you feel like, I don't want to wear that brand, it's tacky, I want to take it out, but I want to keep the shirt. And now this is an opportunity to branding, not your shirt anymore, not your pants anymore. It is right on your face, the best spot to be seen, and then that's
Sure.
branding. Yeah. So I think
Prime
exactly. Yeah, I've seen innovation even like there's a strap, like to ensure that you're not gonna lose your mask. Have you seen this? The strap behind, and they put branding on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the world has moved, in such a way that if you stay behind and you're not changing mindsets, you're losing some opportunity out there.
Oh, okay, that ties in neatly to my next question, which is about storytelling. So you and I have worked together on some storytelling projects previously, and I know that storytelling in the hospitality industry is a big passion of yours. Why is that? What does storytelling mean to you, and why is it important for the hospitality industry?
I think for me, story, it's pretty much like a song. You can't remember anything, but when you put it into a story or you put it into a song, your memory works better that way. So during this, work from home period, actually what I've done a storytelling sessions with the client as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because this is not a time for you to sell, especially in hospitality. We're not talking now because now there's unlock and then the resort start opens. So you can start putting promotions on. But we're talking about a month or 2 months back where you just sit home and you don't know what to do. And how do I keep engaged with the clients? So I think the best thing I could do is trying to bring back the story, something that they already might have forgotten. So we did the session and the thing has been pretty successful.
Yeah, fantastic.
So,
I completely agree with you on that. I think the
good thing about storytelling as well within the marketing space is that it's super fun as well. It's a fun thing to do because it's getting to the core of the business and what makes it special and what makes it different and what makes it unique.
Yeah.
And having a good sense of that, it makes a better experience for the customer too, because as you said, this isn't the time for selling, but people want to believe in the thing they're buying. They want to understand not just the monetary value, but how that purchase fits into their own life philosophy and the story of I know within the M Gallery, you guys have a great story concept of everything. Every single hotel has its own story. Would you mind talking about that philosophy a little bit? Because I it's stuck in my mind once we discussed the M Gallery and their unique moment of wonder, I think was what it was called.
Gallery moment, and
Yes.
they have another hashtag which called the story that stay. Yeah. So this is previously, and the changes just happened during the Corona times. So, we worked together for the Rinda Resort M Gallery, all the three in Thailand. And because of that, I get to expose a bit of, the brand M Gallery itself, which has been fond for a long time. So it's under Accor, but the uniqueness of M Gallery is usually it has to be a hotel that has some story in terms of design, and then the brands will take over, and then maybe bring up the highlight of what's really the story that's hidden behind this property. So I think through that discovery, I really like and then get to learn more about the story of the other M Gallery around the world. If I'm not mistaken, I think by now they should have like hundreds of hotels around the world already, in which each of the M Gallery, it's a more boutique resort. And to be able to make each of the resort being remembered, it's not like comparing to a big hotel, there's a tons of things to do. But a small resort, how do you differentiate them from one to another? So you need to create a valuable and something that is more tangible. So the words tangible for me is something that people can actually remember, and it's attached to their emotion. So the story that each M Gallery has, it's starting from one of the objects. So I think let's give it Chiang Mai, for example. The object that we used to tell the story was the brick, the red brick. And where the red brick came from? It came from the time that when the hotel was founded and was created in Chiang Mai. The designer wants to bring the story of Chiang Mai town, Chiang Mai old town. So there's a lot of design that's been built and using the brick. So that's why this one object translates into the story that will keep on going and, expanding to be a bigger story. Yeah. So the campaign that M Gallery has launched last year, which called Stories That Stay, they have a launch of this one object from M Gallery around the whole world. And it was quite interesting for me to learn of what that one object of each place are. So, I think I was lucky to be able to experience that and then to join the storytelling sessions and to help them, build it a little bit. Because each of the property already have it anyway, but how do we scrap it and bring it and highlight it for people to be able to remember?
I think the red brick example is a great example because that's a connection in that one simple object to legacy, to history, to heritage, the story of the city, the story of the particular location that they're in. And that Chiang Mai hotel is super beautiful too, in the way it's designed. And I think those kind of things help you differentiate from a generic hotel. If there's certain hotel chains where you could be in London, you could be in Bangkok, you could be in Sydney, you wouldn't know from the room. It's a bed, a TV, a wardrobe. And I think the power of storytelling in that sense, if you do a good job of it, I remember the Chiang Mai hotel story. I remember the M Gallery Vietnam, the one on the big mountain.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets to that point, when the story is the sale, the price doesn't matter. Like you would book that because of the experience, because of how it would make you feel. You're not really looking for, does it have a fridge in the room? Does it have a hot shower? All you really want to be part of is that story, because the story is so fascinating. And I think if any business people are watching this and you think that storytelling is a waste of time, it's really not. Because for us creating the stories, we put our passion into it, we put our love into it. And that transfers to the client, that transfers to the customer. The customer will be willing to invest more in something that they feel has greater value to them. That's not just serving a function. So yeah, it's always great to speak to a fellow storyteller. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Actually, at the Seoul, it's a big hotel for storytelling. It's a big hotel, as in like we are big storyteller, because that is the unique selling point of the hotel as well. So I'm not sure whether we have discussed this, but we do have this storytelling tour every day.
Okay, let's talk about that. Tell me about the tour.
Yeah, it's upon request. So it's one of the unique selling point of the hotel. If you're coming to the hotel and you say like, you can book a hotel tour. And we learned this from historical hotel, you know, other brands under Accor, but then we trying to apply and convert into our own versions rather than to be a historical hotel, because historical hotel has history to tell. We don't have history to tell. We have a design to tell, but the design that associates to history of Thailand and the history of the building itself, of how we created it. So we do it every day, which means we walk through, we show them which part has been inspired from where and who designed it, until we have to close it temporarily right now. So this is the reason why I created the sessions for people who might not even know that we have storytelling in the hotel. Because if you actually look at the building of Seoul, Bangkok, it's a building with a feature of a book.
Oh, really? I never realized that. It's a very cool
So
building.
if you pass once again, just look up and you will see it looks like a book that is ready to be flipped.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So basically, if you're looking up and you will see, this is a book that would be ready to discover. That's why you need to come in and then you walk through. And there's a lot of hidden area that nobody knows where the inspirations come from.
Fantastic. So even in its design, it's a storytelling hotel.
It's a design with storytelling.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying that this is you finally got to connect to your house, to your kitchen. What have been some of the essentials for you when it comes to working from home? What are the things that you found essential, whether that be going for a walk for an hour every day, or having fruit shake in the morning to give you energy, or whatever it is? What have you found to be the essential things for you?
I think it's to stay connected. As we discussed from the very beginning, I think the world, you know, was living in one society where everyone is receiving the energy through meeting each other, whether it's family, colleagues, friends, whatever. And to travel, you get to see things. And what has shut this down is the corona. But the corona doesn't stop us from doing things virtually. So what is important for me is every day, where do we find energy, and how do we connect this energy, and how do we pass the energy to the others? And especially, we're still in the work mode because we're still receiving pay. The most important thing for me is to ensure that my team still living every day, and then they know that they are valuable to the company. And then they can do something that is meaningful to the company, even though they would be sitting at home. So what I need to do is to pass on the energy and then let them pass that energy back to me to make me feel they are okay or not. So we have a meeting every day. And I chose to do it in the morning. So we do this weekly basis where we have morning meeting every day, more of fulfilling energy, let everyone's, telling, because if there's someone's not doing okay, you can also see on the screen. And I actually asked them, like, to really please open the camera. Because if you don't see each other's face, it doesn't mean anything. Hearing doesn't mean that you would know the other person, but facial expressions means a lot.
Yep.
Right. So so I asked them to open the camera so I can at least seeing what's happened. And then every Friday, so happening later today, we have a weekly catch up where they would have to showcase the highlight of it, what they have done in a week. Let them learn how to use Zoom. Let them learn how to use technology. Let them share what they have done, a success story, again, story of a week, and then do something more fun. Sometime I said, okay, let's have lunch together. So we do a lunch session on Friday. Bring your lunch and I eat, they eat. And sometime we do something more fun. Have a drink session, a glass of wines or anything, or could be just water. And then, maybe put some props just to make it look funny, because you can only express up this. You don't know what's down below. Yeah, so it's important for everyone to feel and to think that we're still together. Yeah, and off the camera, do what's make you happy. I think most important thing is this is a time for us. It's the best times to do what you want to do, like look after yourself, look after your family, do things that you didn't get to do before, because pretty soon I think life is getting back to normal, and I think we all going to miss this time for working from home.
Okay, that's a great answer. So make sure you connect with your colleagues, have fun together, empathize with how they're feeling,
Tell stories, play games, drink, eat together, but also focus on your real life, your family, and nurturing your soul, so that you're feeling refreshed when it's time to go back to normal. That's a great answer. And that topic, I think that's great. Thank you so much for your time today, Kwan. That was really insightful. I learned a lot from you, as always. And I'll see you when things get back to normal.
Yeah, thank you. And have a great Friday. I think I get to work at the office very soon. So I'm going to miss this time working from home very much.
All right. Take care now.
All right. Thank you, David.